Hello, mums, dads, baby carers. My name's David Thorne. I'm the founder and the lead developer for a Breastfeeding Timer iOS app. This is now the next new update for the Breastfeeding Timer iOS app. This is now actually version 0.2.0, and I want to show you today what new things that there are. So there are quite a lot of new things, to be honest with you, so let's just keep going through them. One of the most important things to see now is that you've got breast switching in between. Okay, so we've started the timer, and you can see that it's been going for 8 seconds on the left breast. Now, there's a couple of ways that we can switch the breast. We can just switch straight over to the right, and now you can see that everything now just changes, and then the feeding box in the middle now says it's a both breasts a session. Okay, so for when I talk about sessions, that means when you actually do breastfeeding, the time is all based upon the time it's spent on the breast in total. So if the child decides that it doesn't want to eat right now for a minute or two because it needs burping or a rest or something, you can just simply press on the pause button now, and the actual breastfeeding timing pauses, the whole session continues, and so on. So once the child decides it wants to continue to feed, we can now press play once again, and it continues. I've just added these utility buttons here, so if you want to change it here, just with this little arrow to the right, to the left, then it flicks over as well. But ultimately, you can change with the big buttons on the top, and we can change once again once you're done with the feed. So what I like is that in the actual feeding area, you can see that this green and red line, or this teal and this red line, is moving backwards and forwards, showing you the amount of time or percentage it's spent on one breast relative to the other. So we just flick it back again. You can see the green line or the teal line starts moving in the other direction now as well. So I like this little touch. It just gives you that little visual to see, did you equally share the amount of time on each breast? This is just me doing it about development, but it might be you that want to know that you had equal time on equal breast all the time. That's down for you to understand. And then when we stop it, we get this a little bit more of a refined view now. So I've tweaked all of the views to look a little bit better. So now we've got a feeding completed. We've got since last time, it was 18 minutes ago. This is live data from my wife's phone. So, and then we can see that we switched 4 times. We can see the start and stop time as well. And it was 48 seconds on the left breast, 57 seconds on the right breast, and a total of 1 minute and 46 seconds. So let's just prepare for next feed. And we come back again, and we can see likely next feed in 2 hours and 8 minutes. It's based upon my son's data. And the last feed was then 43 seconds ago. There's still a little bit of fine tuning to go. We come over to the stats, and it's pretty much all exactly the same. Now, what I have changed is how the breastfeeding time has been calculated. Rather than using the start and end time of the breastfeeding session, which it was now, it's just the breastfeeding time spent on the breast actually feeding now. So it's important to use the pause or a button, or also switch button. So pause, then switch, and then start again. Otherwise, I've just cleaned up some of the views as well, made them look a little bit nicer. The actual editing part has stayed pretty much the same. But now we have this breast segments. Whether or not that name stays is something else. It's still a very technical development thing. Now you can see all of the different segments in the last feed. So we can come into that, and we can change now the start stop duration of it. Now, be warned, I don't have any logic in this right now to see overlapping time. So if you want to start messing around with these times and overlapping them, they will overlap. It's just a trust basis right now. Something that I could add some validation into it. And I'm also going to add that you can add a new breast segment as well if you forget. So that's something that my wife said that I need to do, because she stopped. So she had stopped the feed, and she's like, and then my son wanted to feed again, like 2 minutes later. And she's like, how do I restart it? So maybe that might be something that worth important is coming back into it and then saying restart once again using that same feed. That could be a worthwhile thing to do. Otherwise, then the log, the breastfeeding journal, has pretty much used the view that we had on the beginning, just with a little bit more information and stuff. So you can see here that this is then for Sunday, the 7th of September, which is today. There's been a total of 17 minutes on the left breast, total 23 minutes on the right breast. So my wife is pretty balanced kind of on it. And we can go back and see that, yeah, it's quite well balanced between the two and so on. Now, what I've also enhanced is this peer device status. You can see here that my wife's Eileen 12 Pro is on the network, so we can actually see it right now. Or she just turned her phone off, and I'm on receiving only. So my wife's phone is on broadcasting only, or broadcasting. So, which is where this allow broadcasting comes on, and I can put the name into it as well. It's not finished this yet, but it will get there. Import feeding data, whether or not this stays in the main app, I don't know. And then exporting, this is still, I'm still under development here, but this is basically rather than just exporting the whole lot, you can export just like 3 days or a custom amount of it to send to another device. I want to add that you can send it to this device. So when you come on the export data here, you can actually display who you want to export it to if you're on the local network. So it just makes it a little bit easier rather than exporting the whole thing totally. What else did we have? Sharing feed timer. I've added now a QR code. So if you do see someone else that wants to use it, you can now just share the link with the QR code as well. Other than that, this is it. I've also now released the app to be public testing, so external testers can test it. I'm going to leave the QR code up on the screen right now for you to use to do it. Otherwise, there's a link in the video description. You would need TestFlight installed. That's just to be warned. Install TestFlight using the public link, and then you can access the app as is. When I update it, you'll get a new update and so on. With that said, I hope that this video has been of some help to you. The app is still not in the App Store, but it is there for beta testing for people that want to. There's a maximum of 100 developers or testers that I'm permitting for it right now. So it's down to you whether you want to. I'm only really going to release this app to the App Store once it is absolutely the best breastfeeding timer app in the App Store. I'm also working on a baby sleeping timer app at the moment too, which is one day I'm going to put that in the store too. Also, there's a web-based one which is working. It's completed. I don't know when I'm going to release that. Other than that, with that said, this is it. My name's David Thorne. If you want to check out any of the other history of how it's been going, then feel free to. Other than that, thanks very much for watching. My name's David Thorne, and if you've got any questions, comment, feedbacks, or anything, let's start a conversation in the comment section down below. Thanks then. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.